Welcome, everyone. Delighted to see you. I'm very, very happy for this program that has kind of evolved what we're doing today. It's brand new for us. And I've had pieces of it, but we'll see how it goes. So, I think we're going to go right into meditation because I have a little longer one and I want to have plenty of time for it. So, breathing and grounding. Allow yourself to center, letting go of all distractions. This is a beautiful cleansing and balancing of the chakra system and of the energetic field. So it's very worth tuning in. So feeling your deep grounding, perhaps release it, create even deeper grounding. Arriving in the core of your body. Sending it deep into the earth, allowing it to root somewhere. And for a breath or two, bring up earth energy on the in-breath, letting go of all that is past, all that's not now, and the out-breath. Breathing up the earth energy, let it spiral up your center as a way of nurturing the chakras, bringing them to balance. Breathing out and letting go. All the organs operate off the chakra system. So you're energizing your whole body when you feed it earth energy. And as deep as your roots are deep, imagine opening your branches up into the heavens, into your multidimensional self. And calling in from the heart of source, a river of crystalline light. Crystalline iridescent light, let it wash into your crown. Cleansing and purifying your crown. Releasing any energies not of the light. You can use your hands if you wish. Whoa, letting that light swirl in the crown, filling it with a beautiful violet energy as it activates your connection to source, to all means of knowing. On the next in-breath, let that light come into your third eye. Let it circle, move, cleanse, purify, asking your highest, most radiant guides and angels to help you release any cords from the front or back of the third eye that are not serving love and light. And allowing that river of liquid light to fill the third eye with indigo. Color the midnight sky. You can see it even indigo and sparkling stars. On the next in-breath, let that light spiral down through the crown, the third eye, into the throat. Let it clear and purify your throat chakra. Releasing any cords to any others, front or back, any that would stop your true expression. And allowing the light to fill the throat chakra with sky blue. Opening your creativity, your true expression into the world. Activating the power of your voice. Now the next in-breath, allow that sparkling river of light from the heart of source to bathe your heart. Cleansing and clearing any cords, front or back. Let the angels help you. Releasing all energies not of current time. And allowing the light to fill your heart with a beautiful spring green. Activating compassion, self-love, the heart of true unconditional love. Feeling the heart of your heart aligning with the heart of Source and the heart of Earth. And if you will, put your hand over your heart and imagine you can speak to the beloved within. Let that inner beloved know, I love you. Blessing the beloved within you. Letting this inner reality know, I treasure you. Breathing in, becoming that beloved within, breathing in the love. Take it all the way in, big breath, taking in your own love, love from Source, honoring, treasuring, allowing yourself to feel cherished by yourself. On the next in-breath, allow that sparkling iridescent light from the heart of Source to fill your solar plexus, cleansing and purifying your third chakra, dissolving any cords to any others that might have wanted your power or you give your power away to, front or back. Let the angels help. The color of this chakra is yellow and it loves the sun. So let's imagine that from the light of Source, there's a beautiful yellow sun evolving in your third chakra, cleansing and purifying your power center, your will, inviting your personal will to be connected with divine will. Releasing all that's less than this yellow cleansing light. On the next in-breath, allowing that sparkling river of light flow into your second, cleansing and purifying the center of security, sensuality, releasing any cords that are not yours, that are not serving, letting go of the past. Let the angels help you as the light swirls in this second chakra, purifies it and cleanses it. Filling it with a beautiful orange, a bright, clear orange. Adding that to your rainbow. On the next in-breath, allowing that spiraling liquid light from the heart of Source to wash into your pelvic bowl. Cleanse and clear your pelvic bowl, washing anything that needs to be released right down your grounding. Releasing any cords to others that are past, any not serving your light or you. And filling the pelvic bowl with a bright, clear red. And now allowing that liquid light to flow in and fill your body, calling in scalar waves from the heart of the divine to fill your body, wash it clear. Oh, long breaths support this cleansing. Oh. Then imagine that you have a pen that writes golden white light, and you write your name all over your body, golden white light. Write your name or your names all over your cells, your organs, your muscles. Claim your body, make it yours. This whole vessel belongs to you. Or maybe it's a paintbrush that paints your color. So your color, your name all over your body. And then imagine you can allow that liquid light to become a sparkling iridescent light and fill your auric field. Sphere of light around you, all your subtle bodies, that helps to bring them in and nestle around you. Makes your resources close at hand. And then if you wish, write your name all over that bubble. That's yours too. Your energetic field. Your own sphere of light. And your subtle bodies. And if this feels really good, you might put your hand on your anchor and add it to your anchor. And imagine coming into your heart chakra. So you let your breath carry you right to the core of your body and into your heart. Creating or appreciating the sanctuary there. Once again, bless yourself. And when you're ready, open your eyes to the circle. Maybe shake out a little. Okay, beautiful. So let's do our check-in. What's alive for you? Any progress on your intentions? Any wins or challenges? And I have something new. We have our own clock. I can set it here. Do you see it? So you can watch your own timing and see if it winds down.
That's good.
Isn't that cool?
Very cool.
Yeah. We're uptown now.
Yes, girl.
Okay. So who would like to share first?
I can. I'm unmuted. Oh, do you want to go, Marina?
Go ahead, Karen.
I think I shared first last time. Gosh, I really like that meditation. I found it much harder to clear out the back of my second and third chakras and my root. And I felt like I needed a lot more time for that. So I'd like to do all that again. Wins, challenges, and movement. God, I don't know about wins. Don't know. Challenges. I don't know. I'm not really relating to that. Movement in my intention. Yeah, this new series that I'm developing. Well, part of my intention is to connect more with people in my work and in my field, because I kind of tend to get on with it quite a bit on my own. So I connected with a new person, not a new person like I don't know them, but just somebody I haven't really connected with as a peer, to consult with her about what I'm doing. And that was news. So, and she was very happy to do so. And I had kind of asked her what her fees were and things like that. And she came back and said, I don't really want us to do money, but let's just see like if we can find a way to do an exchange, which felt really good. So we're just been organizing and haven't done it yet, but I'm looking forward to doing that with her and benefiting from her expertise. And it just feels really good to be reaching out and doing that different thing, like really consciously and wanting to. So that does feel really, really good. Yeah, that's me. Thanks.
All right, thank you. Would you like some loving?
Oh, yes, please.
And who's next? Oh, Marina had raised your hand. Now Monica has her hand. Do you want to go next, Marina? Okay, Monica, you, and then Marina.
Okay. Am I unmuted?
Yes.
Great. So I'm doing as much time as I can meditating and using the work of Dr. Joe Dispenza and teachers that I find on YouTube. And I'm really excited. My big win is finding the breath for awakening the pineal gland. And I really love the technological approach, and I'm hoping that I can find it without having to just take a class in, they have classes in Cancun and things, but I can't really afford that. So I'm hoping that I can at least find some of the way on my own. So I feel like I've gotten some steps last night. So I'm very excited about that. And I will accept your love. Thank you. All the blessings are welcome. Thank you.
Breathing it in. Beautiful. And who's next? Oh, Marina, right.
Yes, thank you. So as I started with my check-in, there's been a lot of shift and movement in my life because I've been feeling into like not staying long-term here. And then when my lady was telling me that she wants to up the price so much, I've got until the end of May. And who knows what's going to unfold, but there have been a lot of interesting things. My friend Amira and I, we actually found a lawyer to try to start a company here, because as I'm rooting into the land, I want to become a real presence. Right now I got the residency, but it's only a tourist residency and they can revoke it anytime. And as I said, the foreigners are really not welcome now that they have such a burden with housing in Turkey now. So if I make a company, then with that you can start projects, you can be a partner with any Turkish company, because you're basically a Turkish resident, and it also solves your residency and your work permit issue, which I really love. So we found this guy who is just an angel. He had such good energy, and you can see the goodness in him. We both felt it. We both felt like this sheer goodness, which is rare in lawyers, right? And we were so happy. So we talked to him yesterday. And then the other thing about the island, I got a message that the realtor, like the guy reached out to me who showed me the land, who was there with the realtor, and he said, "Oh," I said, "how much is the last price?" And he said 3.6 million euros. I'm like, wow, still a lot, but hey, that's still like down from 4 and something million. And then the other guy, the realtor, said, "Well, we actually found the real owner of the island, because this guy who was showing it to us wasn't the real one." And so, sorry, I just finished the sentence. And then they even went more down the price. And he said, "The owner actually wants to meet me." I was like, "What?" Like, okay. So yeah, that's my lots of movement. So thank you. I will receive all the good juju you can give me for this forward movement.
Beautiful.
Yes,
Beautiful.
thank you. Oh, ah,
Wow.
oh,
Hmm.
oh, thank you.
Hey. And who's next? Michael and then Valerie.
It was a big week for me, a lot of closure, and I've decided with that closure that I no longer will give my energy to anything that I do not want in my life. So yesterday was a major closing, and just a little trickle to finish, but I see the book closing. That chapter, the first 45 years of my life, is closing. So I'm gonna start really focusing on, okay, if book you want to come out, so I'm gonna make time because I'm really being reticent about writing the book, but it feels like that's what's gonna open the door for my next chapter. So I'm gonna make time for that and keep the presence. It's like, okay, I don't want you, move aside. I don't want you, move aside. Yes, yes, yes to everything else I want. So.
Beautiful. You still have a minute.
I'm complete. You know, I'm a fast talker.
All right. Want some loving?
Yes, please.
Hmm.
Mm.
Doesn't
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
it feel good when the person really takes it in? You know, our love wants to be received, and just I teach in Tantra, receiving the love is the greatest gift you can give anyone. Valerie.
All right. Can you hear me okay? What is alive for me? I posted on the group early this morning. I'm kind of a little scattered today and tired. I just feel like I've been tossed around a little bit by the, I don't know, solar flares and energies going on the planet right now. I didn't sleep at all last night, and at 4 I finally just said I'm going to get up. But I'm also really trying to, I didn't post my intention, but it was really to continue of trying to move in all the ways from a heart center place and heart lens. So I was thinking later today too about like, like that trying to walk between like the densities right now of the physical body and coming back to like the lightness. So I feel like I'm sort of still being tossed about by that, dichotomy, I guess. Well, it's not just a dichotomy, it's not that simple, but so feel a little tossed about. Wins, I got to spend some time. You said something about scalar energy, Evelina, and I got to spend some time in one of these new scalar EF chambers. I've actually had 3 sessions, 2 of which were free because they were practitioners and part of an open house. So that was really cool, and also a way to connect with some people. There are a lot of practitioners and like-minded people. And what else? Well, I think I'm just too scattered to right now to focus on the other things. But and just kind of working with like feeling versus suffering. That's been a theme for me this week too. Like
Beautiful.
letting things move through versus like, again, that density of like holding and suffering.
Beautiful.
Big themes.
Beautiful choices. Yeah. Would you like some loving?
See everybody.
Beautiful. And who's next?
Let's see.
All right. You both had.
Go ahead.
Kaya, go ahead.
Okay. I really feel that I am in a winning zone, and that feels good. I continue to develop and perfect my befriending skills, and meeting and greeting people, and inviting to have lunch or tea or get acquainted. And what's happening now is that I'm really setting a focus and seeing results in terms of people reciprocating, instead of it's a one-time meeting and people just go off in their separate ways. And there's a certain way to do that, and I'm getting a groove into that. I also have my eye on one particular location for seminars. It's the Peace House in Ashland, which is a Quaker organization. And they have several rooms and a small kitchen, and their fee is very affordable. So I'll be meeting with the office manager Thursday. Looking forward to that. I had a really big, bright idea about how I can apply my group energy transmissions to the Rogue Valley Women Business Network. In other words, offering them business blessings, on a monthly basis within that group. So each person who's interested can state their name and the name of their business, and then once a month, energy transmissions go to those people as a blessing.
Beautiful.
And that's a love offering to them. And after a period of time, that branches out into working with them individually or offering programs having to do with mystical marketing. So that's my big aha for this week.
Beautiful. All right. You want some loving?
I do.
Breathing it in. Ah.
Thank you.
Dara.
Well, I also had very poor sleep last night, and it's so raining and pouring here so much. So I woke up this morning a little discombobulated, having to deal with some rain related stuff. So I'm not feeling super centered, but I have been feeling a lot better the last few days. Definitely helping me to just recognize this part of my, like, that this is a chapter. I think we get stuck so often, like it's always going to be this way. And that's a really big thing for me, is like that black and white thinking. And so I've really just been trying to just, talk myself down from the ledge a little bit. When I feel sad or lonely, just noticing like, oh, wow, like, okay, like this loneliness and staying home, it's rainy, it's cold, this is a choice I'm making. I didn't try to make plans, and just being with my feelings, and then just like also realizing that I'm so in control and I can change anything whenever I want to. So just, yeah, really like recognizing that this is just a stage, and like the characteristics of it are all because I'm choosing those ways of being, those ways of thinking, those ways of acting. And what else? Yeah, and just realizing that like I think I'm ready to turn the page, like on this chapter. It's been really poignant to be grieving and different endings in my life, and I'm ready to do something different. I think I'm gonna do some kind of social media challenge and start posting on a regular basis in the month of March. I haven't decided exactly what I'm going to do, but I think that's going to be really good for me. And it's like really pushing a big edge for me. So.
Great. You ready for some lemon?
Yes, please. Sure.
Mhm. Mhm.
Thank you.
Yay. When I think of it, I wanted to say, Karen, you said you love the meditation. There's a longer version of it that is the giveaway meditation on the front page of my website, Chakra Healing Meditation. It's really worth doing often, I think. So I notice I'm not great at timing, even with my device, but we're working on it. Distracts me. Oh my, I have been hitting on many, many fronts. I had an in-person satsang on Sunday, and it was quite wonderful. It was really delightful. And then we have a potluck after, and almost nobody brought anything. So that was funny, but I think they'll learn to bring next time. So I'm trying not to be embarrassed about not being a good Nebraska farm girl providing for everyone, but I'll get over it. And I'm really working on my 9-month cohort, Tantra cohort, working with the curriculum. It's exciting to be up-leveling that, like here, I take things I've taught, but up-level them for us. And I also have done some of the EES technology. So I'll post that link for y'all. You can go on their website. It's amazing. It repairs DNA, lengthens telomeres, creates a 0-point field where your body can heal whatever it needs to heal. And the centers are popping up all over the world. So it's pretty amazing. And I'll take your lovin'. Oh, thank you. That's a nice hit of oxytocin. So this timer has the thing that I can invite you to use it if you want. I think it'll probably end up in chat. Would you like? I can't see you because I've got a yes.
Is it in Zoom or is it outside of Zoom?
It's a Zoom attachment. So I invited everyone to use it. So I don't want you to turn it on, but you can see what it is and maybe download it. Have it available, or just know that it's one of the many apps that you can link to Zoom. There's a bunch. I'm just learning them. Okay, have I totally distracted you? So what I feel and saw in our poll is a real desire to vision new realities and empower new paths. By the way, the poll results were lost to me, and I thought I could pick them up by seeing the screenshot of it, but it wasn't available. And so I may rework it and we might do it again, so I have a way that I can get the results. But I know what was top, so that's what we're working with. So what I want to get at is, what is the dream that you most want to invest your life in? Because really, whatever we do, we're investing our life in, right? However we spend our days, we're investing our life in that. So what is the dream that you most want to invest your life in? So I'm going to have some questions. We're going to have an exercise. I'm going to be sharing about the heart of this dream. And if you really know the dream, then you can take a piece of it, a section of it that you want to do this work with. But what I want to have us access is, what is at the heart of what we want to create with our life? And if you did that, would that satisfy your heart's desire for service and to fulfill yourself? Because what you can invest in most is both. It's the gifting away of your talent, your talent, your skills, and being fulfilled by it, because that motivates you to just keep getting better and better at it. Another way to get at it is to the question of, if I had all the time, energy, money, resources available to me, what would I do? And the mind wants to get busy with, well, how would I do that? But I don't this and I don't that. And the how, that's God's job. You create the big dream, and the universe rearranges itself to fit that picture of reality. And what we talked about last time about surrender, often that requires surrendering your beliefs that you can't. But when you really embrace this new peace, this new dream, this advancement on where you've been, then the universe gets really interested. It's just like, ooh, that's exciting. Let's collaborate on that. So what is so compelling that you just have to do it this life? That if you're on your final days, you look back and you go, I did that. Yeah. That was worth investing my life in. Another way to get at it is, if the world discovered you in your finest expression, what would they be experiencing? So I have a priority sharing tool I want us to use that helps to kind of refine what's at the heart of this vision. So any questions or comments before we do that? Okay. So I'm going to screen share. So this is what I want you to do. Get a piece of white paper and draw 3 circles. It just got bigger. Didn't ask you to do that. So draw 3 circles, and a full sheet of paper is probably best. each inside the other. And then this is a priority setting tool. So whatever you feel is a part of this big dream, I want you to take it and just intuitively put it somewhere in these 3 circles where it seems to land. So the inner circle is what's most central to your heart's desire, to your purpose, what you most want to do. So what is your heart most drawn to? The next circle is it's important, it's fine, I'm interested in doing it. It serves the inner circle most likely. And then the outer circle, well, way less importance, it's more peripheral, not much energy in it. If I didn't do that, that'd be fine. And this is a right brain tool. It helps you to see what matters to you most. So for some of you, this might be like, for you, Michael, it might be this whole next expression in my world. What's important? Or it might be the book. What's important to include? And what am I most passionate about writing about? So it focuses the energy. And Kaya, it might be really looking at all these people you're working with, you're meeting, and what kinds of people do I want, or what kinds of situations, or what classes, what's most central, or what kind of people do I want to appeal to? So you can use it for a project, you can use it for big picture, for any aspect. So Karen, this new series, what wants to be included in it? Or it could be your promotion around it, you see? So each of you find a way and do your 3 circles. It's everything you could do, ought to do, want to do, others want you to do, feel compelled to do, a desire. Anyone need more time? Raise your hand. Okay, another minute or so. Anyone need more time? Okay.
I mean, personally, for me, this is something that like I wouldn't need like a whole like day or week to think about. I don't have all the answers right now. Like lickety split.
So it's something you could spend a whole day with. Yeah. It's also something that you've got an issue in your life. Like I've had someone talk about, I just feel like there's so many friends that I'm not getting anything back from. So I had her do the 3 circles, and a lot of those people fell in the outer circle. Now she knew who she wanted to concentrate on. So you can use it for any kind of choices you're making where there's a need to set priorities. Valerie?
The little questions that you popped up, is that a file that'll be in the documents, or could it be,
Yeah,
or in the, I can copy it from the chat too.
no,
Just be how I was thinking. I could definitely go back and spend more time with it, and the questions would be good prompts, or the
Mhm.
outline.
They're all abbreviated in my notes, so
Yeah,
I'll write them up and put them in the Mighty Networks.
thank you.
Yeah, anytime, ask. Okay, so what I would love is for anyone who wished to share what you found, what fell in the center. Because that's where you want to invest your life. What's in that focus point?
Do you mean share in the group?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I could do that. Okay.
Sure.
So this is in relation to my work mostly, although it does cross over into other parts of my life somehow. Connecting, collaborating, co-facilitating, and having support. Getting more support than I need, which is like kind of a new idea. Not just support, but more than I need. And so I was thinking about this series that I'm developing at the moment, and again, so the word support comes up, in particular from other people that have a certain training, and from somebody that I get supervision with, who's also a friend. And then innovating a way to make this work for parents. So I'm trying to change something from a training for practitioners, and it's like a combination between a training for practitioners, family practitioner training, working with families, and actually the work of working with families with children. And I'm actually creating something kind of in the middle of that, which is how to teach parents how to do it themselves. And a large part of the skills is learning to listen underneath. I call it listening underneath, which is listening underneath the behavior of children. And of course, learning to do that with their children, they're also learning to do it with themselves and each other. That's sort of side effect.
Beautiful.
And there is a strong pre and perinatal focus in it. So that's the series. And it's completely a new idea in this work, in this field that I'm in. So and for me, the heart of it is listening underneath. So that's really like so much about my work, and so much about the unconsciousness of this work in the culture, and how to bring people to listening underneath all the babble and the behavior and everything else that goes on. And with this series, particularly with children, it's about play, non-directive, child-centered play, because that's the language of children. So I'm going to teach parents to do that at home.
Beautiful.
Basically. So it's a big job. Yeah, I'm really working on that. And so I'm having to bring a lot to it. And I feel like it's perfect that I'm ready to collaborate and have support and so on.
Good.
Because I really need it to do that.
Good. You see how central that is. to the
It's very
whole.
central. It's very central for me. I just even love the words listening underneath. They just do something to me.
Yeah, beautiful.
So, yeah. It's like,
All right. So let's just all spend our heart for Karen to find all of this and develop this. It sounds like this so needed on the planet. Oh, you have a little heart reaction you can share, I see.
oh, thank you.
Yay.
Oh, that's lovely.
Who else would like to share? What's at the center for you?
I would. I might have missed some of the instructions because I was looking for big white paper. But for me, what it was like, it was just words coming through, and my four central words in the middle are the sun, the sea, prayer, and circles. It was like, what? And then the second circle has family, food, and travel.
Mhm.
And the outer circle has the singing and the dancing. And for some reason, I wrote recognition. And I'm really surprised for that. It's like, recognition for what?
Well, the outer circle is meant to be what's less important to you. So,
Exactly. But I was surprised that I put singing and dancing there because they've always been important to me.
mhm, mhm.
Yeah.
So I apologize for not giving you time to get your sheet of paper.
It's okay.
I think all this solar flares are making me a little keep moving, keep moving.
I have a question. Two of you mentioned some kind of energy coming. What is it? What's it called?
Solar,
Bless.
solar flares as in sun.
Yeah,
Yes, but there was another word you used.
Oh, the
Oh, the scalar.
Kayla,
Scalar.
Okay,
I see
what
it.
is that?
I don't know.
scalar waves are these they're waves of energy that do not have positive or negative. They have a 0 point field. And so they just potentiate whatever, they potentiate healing. So this EES technology, I'll share the link, puts you in that 0 point field, and then your body can do its job of healing.
Do you know about the healing?
Do I know about the healing?
The Healy, it's like a electromagnetic, like, or a frequency healing device that
Oh,
you
yeah.
wear on your body. Do you know about it?
I do. I like this better because I sit down and do it, and then I'm not having to program and all that stuff. But I think that's also valuable. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So you might go back, Maureen, and do it around some aspect of this retreat center. So you can see how central it is and then work with it that way. But it's a tool to keep using. Anyone else? Aya?
Really central to my soul and my calling in life is co-creation. And that's co-creating with guides, angels, and nature spirits, through mystical mentoring and healing. That can take on a variety of different manifestations or forms, depending on, what I'm inspired about or what the basic necessities are or what my environment has to offer. And in terms of mystical mentoring and healing, that's for individuals and for the world. So I have certain projects that have global implication to them. And that isn't something necessarily that I can swallow all right now, but have been taking steps in that direction. So I've been collaborating with nature spirits in terms of shifting the weather and been having really profound experiences with that. So, I look at it in terms of mystical mentoring and healing for a better world, and not just conceptually, but actually. One of the things I'm struck by in these circles, it could be, this is of utmost importance and this is less or this is less. I can also see it as a model where this is my utmost calling or desire, and different rings are different manifestations of
Yeah.
it.
Yes.
Because mine just, it's like a really big chunk to fit all in that one circle.
Right.
And it's like, oh, I could actually layer it out in terms of progressionally or different variations of it.
Yes. Beautiful.
Thank you.
And that's one of the values of it, because we get all these ideas and we're trying to do them all at once. And to just move some things out so you can really focus at the heart of it.
Yeah.
And then later you do it again. And maybe some of those are in the center.
Yeah.
So it's not a setting for life. It's right now. Here's
Right.
my point of focus.
Yeah.
This is what I
And
want.
it makes me think of concentric rings of a tree, of course. And, you know, my highest calling is co-creation. And so right now in the center is just meet people in this town. Do you know what I mean? And that's like so much more to the ground than, oh, you know, co-creation. And yet, you know, it's also very central to where I am right now.
Right.
Mhm.
Right. And it leads toward co-creation.
Yeah, it does. Mhm.
Beautiful. Thank you. Offering our empowerment. Mm. Who else? Valerie?
I got a little bit overwhelmed with like, am I doing this just for work or my personal life or like self-care, you know? So I could see also going back and maybe doing a few separate ones and then merging them together. And also, Marina, thank you. I love that idea of just doing it with words too. Like, I'm excited to play with it some more, I think. But what showed up in my center circle, because I kind of started with the work, or I guess I have a friend who we're both yoga teachers and coaches, and so we have some overlapping things and a few things that are different. We both also love water. We're both total, like, you know, want to be near the water, kayaking, and all that kind of stuff. And we've talked for a long time about doing some sort of retreat together or retreats. And while I love living in the mountains, one of the things that's hard for me about being here is not getting enough water energy, although I do go to rivers and lakes a lot. So that was in there of like finding a way, because I was looking at that as a way both to, you know, as of service, but also a fulfillment, right? Because like we'd also get to go to some places. And also the individual and group, like integrated coaching and energy work. Sort of on the edge of the center and the outside. I've had some opportunities with, there's a local place called the Center for Conscious Living and Dying, and I have a lot of connections with people who work there. And over the course of a week, I have meetings and get-togethers with like 4 people who are connected to it.
Mm-hmm.
And through that, I have an opportunity to do like potentially do the death doula training for free, and also potentially to do Reiki 1 training for all of the people doing the death doula training. So there's some like things percolating with that.
Beautiful.
It doesn't feel like my like personal biggest dream, but it feels really, I feel very lit up by it when I so it feels supportive of other things.
Beautiful center too.
Yeah, there's a lot of scribbling in there. So I'm excited to play with it more.
Good. So I want to share, this is a tool. You do it. It's a snapshot of the moment.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't try to merge them.
Oh,
You know, don't make it into a project about the tool. Just use it to spark your thinking. And then I have another tool we're going to use for the center circle in a minute.
okay. All right. So tell my thinking mind to chill out a little.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you for trying to organize everything to do it just right. However, I just get to use it.
Thank you.
When my to-do list is too big, I do this. What's important? Focus there. Yeah. Anyone else? Shall we go to the next tool? Great. So I'm going to screen share. This is mind mapping. So if you notice, this looks like a neuron. So it creates a picture of what you're going to do, what you're doing, that matches how your mind thinks. And so the mind can grasp it. And it's also a way of sorting things out, but it's also a way to identify all the things that are needed. So in the middle, you put your goal or central idea. So this is one piece that you're wanting to create. And then you do the circle first. You can't see all my gestures, but they're really helpful. You do the circle first, then you draw the branches and you add the twigs later. So the branches are the sub-steps to the goal, and then the twigs are related steps. Keep it oriented towards you. Some people tend to turn it, but you want to be able to read it looking straight at it. So you write above the line. Printing is probably easier for the mind to access, and just 3 to 4 words or a symbol. You can do different colors for different parts. You could even connect related ideas. So it's just being in the flow. Just jot down everything. So if it's somebody want to be an example, we'll go over it together. I can't see you as long as I'm screen sharing. Can you take a snapshot of that so you have it? If you need it, or else I'll come back after we practice. Whoops. Now what did I do? I don't know. I lost it. I'll find it. So, would you like to have me just kind of work through one? Or do you want to get started on yours?
What do you mean by work through one?
So, to start with somebody's central idea, and then what are ideas of branches?
So like you're going to do it with somebody?
Good.
Okay. I don't know. I'm up for it if anybody else doesn't want it.
Marina's raising her hand. Do you want it?
I would, but if Karen wants it.
Can you
go
post
ahead.
it on Mighty Network maybe? Because we will have access to it whenever we want. We can just download it.
I will post it on Mighty Networks. Yeah. I just finished creating it about 11:30 last night and didn't have time to go do that, but I will. So let's do it this way. Karen, 0 to 10, how important is it for you to go? And Marina, 0 to 10, how important is it for you? And just find your truth.
I'm fine for Marina to do it.
And 7.
Okay. So what's your central idea, Marina?
Oh, the island of compassion.
So is there an aspect of that you want to do this? You want to do it with maybe the whole thing. So put
The
that,
whole
put it in your center, and then the branches. So one is the legal, working out the legal.
Yeah.
What's another branch?
The it's actually 2 branches. I don't know which way to go, right? Whether it's going to manifest as someone buying it, or I also had this idea that I could just be the caretaker of the place, sort of like the You
So
see,
what-
so
So one branch might be investors. So you see, that's the main idea, investors. And another branch might be something about connecting with the owner.
mm,
And so the twigs under that would be to have this initial conversation. And another might be see if caretaking is an option.
mm-hmm,
You see how that works?
mm-hmm. So, meeting the owner
Mm-hmm.
and then caretaking.
Yeah, investing. So that's another twig. Those are
Mm-hmm.
twigs. And you just
Right.
use a few words because mine wants to be able to get a snapshot of the whole thing.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Right.
So,
And another aspect is actually getting there
mhm,
because it's pretty hard to get there. You need a car and you need a boat.
all right. So let's look at the main idea, which might be logistics.
Logistics, yeah, and sustainability is the other one. Mhm.
Uh-huh. Good. And so under logistics is figure out how to get there,
Mhm.
or plan trip would be the short thing.
Mhm. Yeah. Plan trip.
And
Mhm.
under that might be a twig of pricing trip.
Mhm.
You see? So now your mind's getting a picture of the whole thing.
Mhm. Right.
And there may be a branch of fleshing out the dream that might invite writing it up,
Mm.
preparing materials to enroll others.
Mm.
Okay. So
Wow. Thank you.
you're welcome. So I'll put this back up and you can all work on yours. And again, it's a tool. So let it serve you. And the fewer words, the more your mind gets this snapshot. It tells you where you are now, and it can be any aspect of what you're working with.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
I want you to play on sure.
Hmm. Hmm.
Who needs more time? Raise your hand. Okay. Another minute or two. So, beloveds, I think what we'll do is go into our break, and I'll leave this up. If you want to continue working, you can. And we'll come back at 10 after the hour. Okay? See you at 10 after the hour.
And what time is everything? What time are we complete today?
As usual, we complete at 12:30 Pacific.
12:30 Pacific. Okay, awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome. See you in a bit.
Yay.
Everyone come on back now. So while they're returning, I'd love to hear if that was useful, those tools. Good. Hmm. So fascinating how all of our squares jump around. Probably good for mental flexibility.
You know,
Hmm.
you can move them around, right, and put them where you want them.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, like if I'm seeing myself next to you right now, but if I wanted to put Marina next to you, I just click on it and move her up.
Oh,
If I wanted to put you in the middle, like I'm going to do that now, you're in the middle now.
that's beautiful. So if someone's asking a question, I can put them closer to where
Right, yeah, you can put them in next to you or in the middle or whatever.
Ah, I love learning. Great. So welcome back. Marina, you come, there you are. So one way to do a quick poll is 0 to 10 with your hand in your screen. So how useful was those tools for you? Okay. Monica, I can't see your hand because all we have is your chin up again.
Oh, maybe we can see the sun.
I am having some trouble with writing, so I'm opting out.
Oh, well, just keep writing then.
No. I mean, I have lost the ability to write.
Okay. So you might want to bring that to the council when we bring them in.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So are we ready to bring in our friends in high places?
Yep.
So breathing and grounding. Allow yourself to center. Flow right into the core of your body, arriving in the heart of now. I ask the angels and archangels, please create for us a crystalline temple of radiant energy, crystalline temple of light, all around each one of us, all of us, and this work now and on replays. I ask that you cleanse and clear all energies not of the light from around either of us, any of us. And we, for each one, our own chrysalis of radiant light, filled with the rays and vibrations needed by each woman here, our bodies and our lives. I ask God, Goddess, source of all that is, encompass us so completely in your radiance that only beings serving love, light, and truth may participate in any way. Deepest healing and highest guidance is received. Invoking the radiant heart of your own soul to assist you in receiving all that's possible, all that serves, releasing all that serves, as you breathe in your light and light from source. I welcome into this sacred temple the Council of 12. And I welcome those beings from the heart of the light only, who are guides or loved ones for anyone here. Greetings, dear ones. We greet you, we bless you, we're honored to be with you. It's always such a joy to witness dreaming and visioning and manifesting, femifesting, knowing that what you're doing here benefits so many others in your world. So we encourage you to keep using these tools. There's many others on your Mighty Network site to flush out your offerings in the world and to get to write what's so core that my soul's plan is for that. And if I do that, I'll go, oh, good life. Yeah. Excellent. And for some, it's a refinement. For some, it's a whole new exploration. But you allow yourself to be guided in that exploration, to know that Spirit supports you most fully when you're on your soul's plan. That's where the resources are. So we feel we'd like to use this segment of time for any inquiries or things you want to share from that exercise, but especially what you would like input from the Council of 12. And remember, your own guides and angels come as well. So they may be talking with you as we're working with each person. So who has an inquiry?
So it's only to do with what we've been doing today. That's all.
Whatever you wish
Nothing
to ask.
outside of that.
No, it's your mentorship. Whatever you wish to ask.
Okay, just about mentorship. Okay.
About what you shared today, about your work, whatever is important. And, to limit it to only mentorship, maybe there's something else that is blocking or in the way that wants to get asked. Marina?
It's a question that I would love to ask for input from the Council of 12. So I feel that I'm really being drawn to this island project, and at the same time, I also fear my my own nature of, well, the human design, they call it manifesting generator, which means that I tend to change my course because I work with trial and error, and I just pivot and and I move on from one place to the next. And I'm feeling this push and pull between wanting to root and wanting to keep my freedom. And it's disturbing because on the one hand, I do feel like it's my time right now is to root. On the other hand, I feel that if I root myself into a place, it will limit my freedom to move around and get around. And so I think that's one of the things that keeps me from truly committing myself.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if that makes sense.
It makes sense. And to commit yourself, you have to take into consideration who you are, what your personality is. So we feel you've done a lot of the freedom side, and time to do a little bit of the rooting side, and know that you can reclaim your freedom. Or how do I root in a way that I keep my freedom? So if the island wants to happen and you're part of the agent, if it happens for a retreat center, can it be set up in a way that a group purchases it, or a board, or a committee, or some where other people hold some of the responsibility?
Mm.
And do you really want the role of running it? See where that fits in your 3 circles of being the day-to-day administrator, or are you helping to bring the dream through for the world? And then with this collaborative group, finding an administrator, finding people who run it. So you can come, you can bring groups there, and you can go and travel. So you both adapt you to the dream and the dream to you.
Mm. Yeah. Thank you.
So if your talent really lies in the realm of being the initiatrix, then when you draw others into the project, you make that clear. I'm here to help initiate this, to bring all the people and resources together for something magical to happen. I imagine I'll have a room or a home on the island, and I'm a world citizen. I also travel. So we want to create in a fashion that whoever needs that kind of freedom has it. And then there's somebody who goes, oh my God, I would so much love to just root there and never leave the island. And I'm a fabulous organizer.
Mm. Wow.
This is about how you leave the how-tos to God.
Mm.
You see?
Thank you.
You're welcome. There's a tendency to look at the dream and then go, oh, but that's going to ground me. That's going to ground me. That's going to ground me. You know, the good part and the not good part.
Yeah.
As long as there's dread in the dream, it's really hard for the universe to fulfill it.
Mm-hmm.
So universe, rearrange yourself around me getting this island and us getting it for a retreat center, but don't ground me. So you set it up, create a way for this to happen where I can be rooted and still have enough freedom to be happy.
Mm. Wow. Yeah. That feels really good in my body.
Good.
Mm.
So a real spirit-guided dream has enough room in it for you to be happy.
Mm.
If it doesn't, you change the dream.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Mm. Damn it.
Who else?
I
Karen?
have a question. This is about some of what happened last week, about channeling. Like afterwards, I was thinking about how strong my intuition is, and that I have quite a few different ways of getting information. I just call it information.
Mm-hmm.
Like hearing, seeing, sensing, feeling, knowing, just so many different ways. And partly out of that, I'm kind of thinking right now, why is the idea of channeling bring up so much fear? Am I actually doing that anyway, but I'm just doing it my own way, and I don't perceive myself having people up there, you know, because I do get a lot of information. And so am I already channeling? I don't know. I'm aware of having one guide, that's all, who's an archangel, I would say. I don't even remember how I got him, but he's fine. I'm fine with him. That's Michael. He helps me clearing out space and healing, hands-on healing.
Mm-hmm.
And it's, yeah, so just that question of what's the fear? I can feel it right now.
Mm-hmm. So several questions in that. We think it's really valuable that you're claiming all your ways of, all means of knowing, all the intuitive arts, because that's such a gift and really the intention here. Are you channeling? We'd say you're listening really well to spirit and allowing yourself to be informed by spirit, by your higher self, by your wisdom nature. Kind of depends on how you define channeling. It's a little different than allowing a being to speak through you. And yet people will tune in and channel a whole book or a poem. You know, it comes from an inspiration beyond yourself. So that could also be called channeling. As far as your question, why the fear? Our sense is that it feels like it comes from a past life. A life where you were known as a channel, you were known as an oracle. And what can happen when a person is a really good channel and then they get really known is that the ego can take over. And we feel that you, in that lifetime, you kept feeling you were a clear channel, but something had come in that just slowly started to distort your personality and distort your messages. And it felt as if it was destroying your mind. So our sense is that you have a fear from that other lifetime that shows up in your body around it. And the fear of being taken over may have even contributed during this other class where you said something came in. So the fear of something can come in and I won't notice, I won't know it, is behind this anxiety or fear in your body. We do want you to notice that you did notice this time. It was different. Yeah. So we feel this, the oracle that you were. What we like to do when we work with past lives is not just leave it with the information, but we have the sense that her life really degenerated and she's lost on the inner planes. So if it works for you, we know some of our efforts don't, so we'll ask if it does. We'd like to ask if it worked for you to have Archangel Metatron make a column of light and help bring her into the light. And then that bleed through will not be there.
I don't really know. Yes.
Okay.
I don't know how that's going to affect me. But
It
what's
helps.
the intention of it?
Pardon?
What's the intention of it?
The intention is this, that when there's bleed through from another lifetime, it's because there's unfinished business in that lifetime.
Okay.
And then somehow this lifetime gets set up to try to finish that business.
Wow.
If we go finish the business in the other lifetime, then the bleed through stops.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
So Archangel Metatron, we ask that you create a column of light right into the heart of the light, and that the archangels help to find this oracle who's lost, help her know it wasn't her fault, help her know that we can clear those entities, and help lighten her up and lift her up all the way into the light. We call for her loved ones from spirit, and as she moving up, she can see that all that wasn't really her is dropping away. That's it. Keep ascending, keep going back into your light consciousness where you began this work. You actually grew up with that capacity to be an oracle. So reclaiming that. That's it. Your grandmother's Some of your teachers from that life are calling you to the light. Let yourself lift up. Beautiful. Yes, all the way into the light. We ask the angels to clear any cords between her and Karen in this lifetime. Any energetics that carry that bleed through, to lift them free. We release her into the light and let the gates close behind her. Blessed be. So, how does that feel?
Still feel the fear in my gut. Had moved up to my heart before you did the clearing, and then I can feel it a little bit more in my gut. And I noticed that the second and third chakras, which I've mentioned before, that I have a lot of work to get through those, to go down to the ground. I could feel quite a bit of shift and just this kind of thing that happens in my neck, like a kind of, I don't know, it's hard to describe. I noticed it earlier in the meditation, there's something about my second and third chakras and this neck thing that I get this kind of like something like a bit of an electrical thing going off. It's like a thing, something. And I realized it's connected to those chakras. So there's something about what you just did and those chakras, and just fear is sort of getting less.
Great.
At the moment, I can feel it going down.
Great. Maybe just put your hand
chakra right now, and so it's a bit lower down.
Good. Maybe just put your hand there and let that part of you know we're safe now. We're safe now.
Yeah.
And I don't ever need to channel again, but I do like working with spirit. Yeah. And just see if you can breathe that fear right into your grounding. Let it go. Full breath, everyone. Breathing in, balancing your nervous system with a long out breath. Is it lessening now?
Yeah, settling a little bit more.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. Who else wants to share or have an inquiry?
I want to ask, kind of share something. All week I've been feeling edgy, like I want to move, I want to move, I want to move. And when I sit with it, I'm asking myself, am I running away? Or is it really my higher self that wants to move? And I don't know if it's the edginess, I just cannot figure it out.
So you've had the time and the privilege for this great pause between the old life and the new. And we feel that what then begins happening is a potentiation inside, that the new movement begins to potentiate. And this work we've done today is to help you more clearly define what's at the heart of what's next. So it may be that you're not ready to go somewhere, but that you do the dreaming, you do the visualizing, you start getting plans, you start looking at opportunities. And we have a sense that some travel's in your near future. to go check out different sites or different retreat centers, that there's a re-entry wanting to happen. So it's almost like the beginning pangs of new birth wants to happen. You're not in labor yet, but you're knowing that, oh, I think I may be becoming pregnant with my new life. And so you give yourself permission for it to evolve in you. And give yourself permission to dream a life you want to live. So the beauty of the 3 circles is there's so many things you could do, but what lands in the center? What would fulfill your heart? Because you might as well invest yourself in that. So what'd you find in your center?
Well, the question, it's a little bit puzzling because I remember one time doing all this ordeal, my guidance told me to watch my ego when I'm out of this. And everything I see myself doing is what I was doing before. And I'm concerned about the ego getting big if I go in the position of teaching or prominence.
Oh, your ego's had such a beating, we doubt it. You are so far from ego driven at this point. You're spirit driven. The very same thing can be done to serve the ego and to be important and prominent and all of that, or to serve spirit, and it happens that you become important or prominent.
Okay.
And you have enough of a radar, we think now, Mikhail, that you'll know when ego starts taking the front seat.
Okay. Yeah.
You'll start feeling like you're about what's happening out there, and you just keep coming back. If you're guided by your heart, the ego doesn't live in the heart. It's somewhere up here in the mental world. So you just check everything with your heart. Is this really what my heart wants to do? Is this what my soul wants to do? Okay, so how can I do it this time in a way that's spirit-based and spirit-driven? So it may well be that your new world includes some of what you've done to a different population, in a new way, probably a little, not just dusted off and put back on, but upgraded. You know, now that I have spent some time in my 4th dimensional self, how does that look? You can even do the meditation that brings you that sense of 4th dimension, and then look at, if I do this coaching, how do I do it from this place? If I do something with Retreat Center, how do I do it from this place? And ego might be, I have to create it and it's in my name and I'll be the famous one. And higher consciousness might say, I'm going to find a retreat center that I really love, do some really important work with them, offer my skills there, and then take my next step. I'm not going to tie myself down until I've tried myself out in this new world, because you're a new being.
Yeah. I feel, I need to travel more before I start anything else. I just need to just be a butterfly for a little while longer. Because I'm feeling still so much resistance about putting myself out there. And I need to honor that. I don't know why I'm feeling so resistant about it, really.
Be really good to journal with your resistance. So 2 colors of pins. The resistance speaks, you speak, and ask it. How are you trying to support me? What are you wanting? And there's been a pause, a big long pause. So it takes a little bit. When you go from still to movement, there's inertia that resists the movement. And so you just notice, what's the resistance of starting up again? I've got this nice little life on the beach. And what is some part of me that's probably carrying old stories? Resistance is old stories. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Who else? Aya?
Thank you. What I'm curious about and sits with me a lot is how to expand my cognitive and entrepreneurial bandwidth. You know, there were times in my life where I was absolutely prolific, you know, running a center, teaching any number of programs, having private clientele. And then what I stepped into was 10 years of sheer catharsis that was more about self-preservation. Not to say that I didn't grow and become, you know, a deeper, wiser, stronger human being, but self-preservation was so much part of that journey. Automobile accident, brain injury, you know, pull myself up from where I'd lived for 36 years, moved to Ashland. I'm a stranger in a strange land. And then the pandemic rolls in, and then one health issue after the other, and we have fires and smoke. And so now I'm saying it's time for me to awaken and come back to my creativity. And I'm really concerned about, you know, my cognitive bandwidth. I have wonderful ideas and plans that are coming that re-aliven that entrepreneurial creative spirit. I don't know, and I have concerns how much I can actually do. It's one thing to say I'm going to have collage, and I'm going to have ladies for lunch, and I'm going to do business blessing. All of those things have logistical developmental steps.
That's right.
They all do. They're wonderful at the bright idea stage. I used to be able to, in hosting a group, like a half hour, an hour before the group came, I would sit down and do the curriculum, just boom, like that. And so I'm wondering, you know, what I can do to support myself in believing that I can, or actually having that type of chi available to me.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Many answers, many possible answers. And the EES technology that we've spoken of today,
Yeah.
it's
right?
that helps with brain injuries.
Okay.
It helps restore the synapses and get the brain functioning better again.
Yeah.
And there are also supplements that work with that. Evelina's had major brain injuries, and so if you want, she can share any of her brain supplements.
Yeah, I know that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The other piece is when you start up again after 10 years like that,
Yeah.
you want your creativity back, but you don't want to get back to where you were before,
Mm-hmm.
because that's always comparing.
Right.
And ego gets really invested in, are we back yet? Did we do it? But instead, you want to go forward with what is the best use of my time to create these things,
Mm-hmm.
and how do I organize them in time and space?
Mm-hmm.
So you have the bandwidth to do it your way, who you are today.
Yeah.
Because you have the dreams, and the dreams are strong in you. They're potent in you. So that tells us, got the bandwidth, you and spirit can create what you're desiring to create.
Mm-hmm.
The logistics of 3 different things, it's really hard to start 3 things at once.
Right.
So there's a couple ways. One is to do your circle, see what's most important, start that, then the other. Another is to engage someone who can do some of the logistics.
Right. Mm-hmm.
a virtual assistant or personal assistant. It seems to us that the way to spread yourself further
Mhm.
in the offerings is to get more base support under what
Yeah.
you're doing.
Got it. Thank you.
And
There's one other element, and it also ties into how focused or creative I can be. I'm living in an area where I don't feel like I'm really thriving geographically. Like the energy here is very laid back. We could even be called, there's an element of kind of apathy or really yin or even disempowered. And
mhm,
so my earth energy or my spirit isn't being enlivened. And yet this is where I am. And there is no, it is not feasible for me to be going anywhere anytime soon. So I don't know whether the EES system, I need something that is enlivening. Do you see what I mean?
does-
Because
it does.
I led an ecstatic, enlivening life. I was just one of these kind of effulgent people. And it's just so,
Right. It will help you get that back.
yeah.
Right. It will. They recommend 20 to 40 hours over time. So you do 2 or 4.
Okay.
You can do overnights.
Mhm.
But if you look at that website, you'll find sites near you.
Okay.
Um, and we'd have you really do some journaling. What enlivens me?
Mhm.
What enlivens me? What makes me want to get up in the morning and feel engaged?
Mhm.
We're thinking of a kombucha that has 3 mushrooms in it. It's called GTS,
Mhm.
adaptogenic tea, and it's 3 mushrooms. And one flavor is root beer,
Mhm.
kind of fun.
Mhm.
So something like that can also really help with enlightenment.
Yeah.
It's really important, Evelina, almost daily.
Mhm.
And also the adrenal tea that's on the Mighty Networks really helps restore the adrenals.
Mhm.
And it's nice to mix a little in with the adaptogenic tea.
Got it.
Yeah. And movement. Are you moving your body? Dance and movement. We'll probably put our favorite dance online because it's online and it's Sundays, and Evelina will say every time she does it, she gets more of herself back. Yeah. Is that helpful?
Thank you.
You're welcome. So we know that you have exactly what it takes, and you keep working for spirit to design how you do it so that there's more of you left. You're not using all your resources, all your reserves to do it.
Mhm.
Yeah. You're welcome. Monica, you're highlighted. Did you want to speak?
Sure. Am I muted? No?
We hear you.
Oh, okay, great. Um, so I did mention that I'm having okay. So the good news is that I was able to write pineal as we were doing the first exercise. And that actually was a victory because a lot of my, well, I used to have beautiful handwriting and I lost a lot of the ability to make letters with some cognitive things that happened with a medication that I was on that I am no longer on, and I've been off for a year. But as I have been doing some, like as I've been doing the exercises, I'm noticing that what I make is, in the past, what I've made in terms of trying to make letters is mostly gibberish. But I made the word pineal today, and that feels like a victory. And it also feels like a possibility. And then also that's what I really want, is that, pineal gland activation, which is very healing, it's like that 0 point healing where you energize your body with all of the energy of your lower chakras. So that's my goal and my intention. But then, kind of the baggage with that is like, oh, wow, I've lost all that. You know, but I do
So,
celebrate what my intention.
well, let's all celebrate pineal.
Yeah.
Yes, big win.
Yeah. What a great word, too.
Right,
That's
beautiful.
the word.
So our thought is, dear one, that we could ask some teams to come and pull that drug out of your body, if you'd like.
Yeah, absolutely. Whatever's left of it after a year of not taking it.
Well,
I
there's some left in your psychoneurobiology.
I see.
It's kind of laid itself down on some of the neurotransmitters, and we'd like to get it out of there. So would you
Please.
say the name of the drug? Do you remember?
Baclofen.
Okay.
Yeah, I had a specific, very rare allergic reaction to baclofen,
Yeah, it
and it
wasn't
just
good.
cleared my mind, which, in many ways was very cool because I was actually able to receive information. I would just ask a question and I would get like psychic information, which I was like, well, that's weird. I've never had that before. But it's because my mind was empty, and I would forget what I was doing all the time.
Uh-huh. Okay. So if you'll center and ground, we want to call in from the councils of light, the absolute perfect team of beings of light who can pull this drug out of the cells, out of the neurons, out of the brain of Monica Thomas. It feels like they're bringing in these itty bitty, teeny tiny angels, about the size of how many do you fit on the head of a pen? And they want to come into your brain and clear the debris and the damage that's been done by that drug. I'm going to thank your body for the signal of allergy so you'd stop before it did any more damage. And let these little angels repair the neuronal pathways, rejuvenate the neurotransmitters, clear all effects of that drug off them, restore your highest brain functioning. Even in your spine. So they want to clear your spine and all the nerves. How does that feel?
Good.
Good.
Thank you.
So these beings are asking permission to work with you in your deep sleep for the next 3 nights.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Please. Thank you.
To work with further clearing the nervous system in your brain and in your body.
Mm,
Okay.
yeah. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Mm.
May you be able to write pituitary next week.
I'm going to write more than just pituitary. I'm going to write the rest of the alphabet.
Excellent. Excellent. Beautifully
Mm.
written.
Yeah.
Good. Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Who else? We want to just say, then you, Valerie, we want to say that these drugs can stay in someone's body for a long time. And we worked with a person who hadn't been the same since she had anesthesia 4 years ago. And when we were pulling the anesthesia out of her body, you could smell it in the room.
Mm.
It was that strong. It was very stringent, is that the word? In the room from having been in her body. Valerie.
Mhm. Um, turn on. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
So this is kind of coming off of last week around abundance practices, and I did put Lakshmi on my altar and um, doing some work around that. At the same time, I've also had like I've had to transfer more money from savings into our checking account this month than in a long time. It feels like just this leaking money. And I'm also very aware of both ancestral and past life stories of scarcity and lack. And there's one image of like drowning, like I just have this like visual of like something tied to my body and like being underwater, and there's like a connection to like that, how that feels in terms of like like that saying, like I just can't keep my head above water or whatever, but like it's a visceral feeling. And I'm aware of some of the ancestral things from my ancestral work and just like generational knowing of things. But so I guess my question is for the council guidance around what they see are showing up that way, and also if there are practices or affirmations or releasings of those stories that are still like in my field or in my
When you mentioned the image of drowning, we immediately saw a lifetime where you were a very wealthy man. It seemed like whatever you did, you gained more wealth. And you might say your ego was pretty invested in being the wealthiest and the authority. And to the people that worked with you or for you, because you had a great house, you had a lot of employees, it felt as if their needs were not met You didn't care about them. All you cared about was your wealth. And feels like you had a major event and they all felt just leaned on so much that they conspired to unseat you.
Mhm.
They took you on a boat and their plan was just to really convince you to do things differently, to really hear, because on the boat you couldn't get away.
Mhm.
But in that incarnation, your resistance was so complete and you just blew them off. They were like peons to you.
Mhm.
So they attached a very, it feels like the anchor.
Mhm. Yeah, that's what I wrote down actually on my.
Yeah. They attached the anchor to your body and threw you overboard. Oof. That was directly, very directly related to accumulating wealth. So again, what's really valuable in knowing another life is to see what you can do to create the completions.
Mhm.
So let's call upon Ye Maya, goddess of the sea,
Mhm.
to come with some mermaid angels and find that one that's at the bottom of the sea, because in his consciousness he's still there, and untie the anchor. What'd you say?
Chest is really heavy right now. I'm like, I'm okay, but like it's a lot of pressure on my chest.
Right. So we'd like you to go into witness. You're not under the sea. It's another incarnation of your soul that's bleeding through, but you're not under the sea. And you don't have the anchor. It feels like it does. Let your guides and angels clear it. And then we ask Archangel Metatron to create a pathway for that being to move into the light. We need to bring some lovely ladies that knew him when he was very tiny, like his favorite nannies, his favorite godmother and nannies, to come for him, to help him realize he can move into the light. No, he can't go get revenge. Time has passed. Those people aren't in the boat anymore. Actually, they're in the light. So if you go to the light, you may be able to find them. That's often a motivation. Letting go of the earth plane, letting go of time has passed. Yeah. And just notice how it feels to allow spirit to lift you up out of the waters, out of that heavy weight, and up into the light. Go be with love. He has a lot of ego to drop, so he may go to a higher bardo, maybe not all the way to the light, but that lifts him up from you. And then we ask the angels to clear any null cords between his lifetime and yours. And any weights that you feel that's really from his lifetime. Yeah. And all his emotions, just imagine offering them up to the angels. Yeah. Ah. So we're able to get him to a higher bardo where he's with people who love him. And they're going to have a lot of processes with him about how distorted he got by his money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so interesting too, because I know that I've known forever that I drowned in a previous life because I love water so much, but I have a unreasonable fear of drowning. Fear of drowning. When I'm in water, I don't know where the bottom is.
Yeah.
Or maybe I did have a fear of drowning.
Maybe you did. Yeah. I
Maybe
have any love spirit, take it.
water and sea. Yeah,
Yeah.
much lighter in my chest.
Good. Good.
Yeah, thank you.
So yes, affirmations are an excellent way. And if we haven't put, we have a whole sheet about affirmations with quite a few about money and relationships and other things. If we haven't put it on the Mighty Networks, we will. And it also describes how to use them, writing them in 3 persons, twice a day. It can really shift your relationship with money.
Thank you.
There's also Lakshmi poem on the Mighty Networks. Working with Lakshmi is amazing. So you get an image of her. You can go on Google Images, find one you like. They're all accurate to somebody's experience of Lakshmi. Print it and put it on an altar. And then you relate to her, and you always come with gratitude. Thank you
How do
so
you
much.
spell Lakshmi?
Lakshmi. Goddess Lakshmi. It would be lovely to do like a collage with Lakshmi and money. What are the images that represent money?
Mm-hmm.
So the affirmations work with the left brain and collage works with the right brain. And these tools we've used today are more right brain.
Mm-hmm.
So you work from both sides. You can write goals for money, for the various aspects, or how many clients, or how many, put some figures to it. But then you envision it. You make it real through images. Okay. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
And who else? Anyone else have an inquiry for the council? Or something you want to share with your community here? So we want to share. Yes, Kaya, go ahead.
I want to thank you for mentioning Metatron. You know, I'll just generalize. Many of us have friends in high places, so to speak, and we may have projects or they come to visit or they stay, or in some certain situations, we form permanent alliances. And I have spent some time with Metatron, but not on a regular basis. And I went, oh, that's who I need. I mean, the archangel of archangels, that's who I need. So thank you for that. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Would you all be interested? There's Meg Benedicte works a lot with Metatron. And she and Deborah Giusti, who's a friend of Evelina's, are doing a 3-part class on ascension. And they have a free download of ascension tips. One was this last week, but you can get the replay, and then it's March 9th and March 16th or something. So if you'd like, we'll send that to you. Useful to know more how you disconnect whatever's in the way. I want to tell you something very funny. In order to use the clock, I had to make it not mirror anymore. So I'm trying to adjust my sweater, but it's not mirroring me. So it's like, no, it's not that side. No, it's this side. Technology. So we have a question for you. What internal permissions do you need for these next stages? What internal permissions do you need to give yourself? Like, I can be wealthy and be really kind to people. I can trust that I'll know what's right. I give myself permission to trust myself. What kind of permissions do you want? We often give the assignment to people who feel a little like, I can't quite get there from here, to do 1,000 permissions in the next 2 weeks. And you start everyone with, I give myself permission. I give myself permission to believe I can do my work in a way that's healing and joyful for me. I give myself permission to believe that the very wealthiest investors in Turkey and environs want to invest with my project. So the permissions help to clear out the beliefs that are blocking. And you can write your permissions, but what's even more powerful, because we know that the subconscious changes by ritual and imagery, is you demonstratively state your permissions. I give myself permission to dazzle this community of Ashland so that people are receiving so much benefit from my work. They refer all kinds of other people, and it's so easy. You're welcome. So you can use your permissions to, you might say, counter all of the yes buts in your brain. Yes, but if I do that, I'm going to be tied down. I give myself permission to fully live my dream and keep my freedom. I give myself permission to believe the universe is choreographing my life with me. And I'm figuring out the code. Could be anything. But a couple thousand permissions moves you forward. I would put one on replay. Oh, give myself permission to dazzle the community of Ashland. Excellent. Yes. Beautiful. So that's a gift that you can give to yourself. So let's take our last. Yeah, dazzling is the energy Ashland needs. Agreed. Let's take our last little bit of time. And we'd like for any of you, or each of you, if you're willing, to share what you're learning about yourself in this work. We're about halfway through. What are you learning about yourself? Let your sisters witness you. Monica?
I have been able to write actually quite a lot in just a few moments. Like I wrote Lakshmi just now. So I'm just pickled, pink. So I'm just, yay! I mean, it's baby steps. It's still sometimes the words, like if I get hung up on what the word is, sometimes, I just keep writing, you know what I mean? Because I have the muscle memory of writing, but not the, like how the words are shaped. So it's
Go
really
for
interesting how I have to let go of what I'm trying to make the word look like and just let it come through me. And it's really weird,
So
but it's pleasurable. So thank you for joining me on this journey.
absolutely.
Yeah.
So perhaps I give myself permission to know that I write in a new way and it's perfect.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, give myself permission to write. Yeah, to write.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm.
And then if everyone will look into your camera and just send light to Monica and her writing, growing, becoming so satisfying and fulfilling.
Thank you.
Yeah, beautiful.
Blessings. Thank
Who would like to share? Karen?
Not sure how to say this, but something to do with what happened last week. When I was sitting with it and thinking about it, I came to this sort of level of thinking not so much about channeling or what the content is or anything, but more about what your constructs were around all of this.
Mm-hmm.
And that mine are different, not better or worse or anything, but just, and then I started thinking about how I think about what I'm doing and why I'm doing it, how it works. And I haven't really put any of this in words, so I don't really know quite what I'm saying about it, but there was something that was quite freeing, but also quite kind of like challenging. There was this sort of place where I could come out of all of that and say, oh, these are just all things. Maybe, how do I know I didn't just make all this up about how everything works? How do you know you didn't just make all this up about guides and people, and that it isn't just you doing it, and like, so how that kind of whole place where we're doing that, and we've all got these sort of stories and things and constructs, and what happens when you go outside of that? And they're not there. There's not a lot of words, or it's kind of just like space. And I don't know, there's something I'm learning about that. I don't really know what it is. That's kind of where I ended up with. There was something about that in this for me, about your constructs and then how that's mirroring me looking at mine. And then looking at everybody's and thinking, well, what is it all this about? What's really going on? Kind of thing. So,
in a way, it's all made up.
Yeah.
And it's what movie you want to live in.
It's what
movie you want to live in.
Yeah, it's to make your own movie time, isn't it?
It always is. We're always making our own movie.
Yeah.
People tell this really disturbing story, they're in that movie. So what we hear is one of the things that has evolved for you is more of a witness self. It's able to look at what you do and really validate that from the inside out.
Yeah, it's kind of like like my whole work is based on these beliefs I have about what happens to us and coming in and what happens in the womb and all that kind of thing. And what if I wasn't holding all of that? Like, then what would there be and where would I be?
Mhm.
You know, it's that place of what happens if you just get rid of all that? What is there then?
There's still you, there's still God, there's still the universe. If you get rid of all of that, then you'll be cooking up the next
Movie.
yeah, the next movie, the next dream.
So I'll make up another one if I get rid of this one.
Yeah, because
Oh my
that's what happens. Souls are here in this schoolroom called Earth, and there's an internal impetus to keep doing the next thing, evolving. We call the creatrix infinitely curious.
Mm.
So if you get rid of all of that, which we don't recommend because you've got it beautifully put together in a way that really benefits people and will benefit more people.
Yeah.
And how do you know that you're not just making it up? Even if you are, does it feel real? Does it land?
It lands, yeah.
Yeah, beautiful.
There's like an edge in it all the time. Like I find when I put the work into words to talk to other people about it, I feel like I'm always walking on this edge where I don't want to define it too much. I want them to have their own, like I can talk about preconception and source, but that's just my thing about it. I want them to have theirs. And so there's always this edge I feel in it between my own constructs and then leaving them a really big open space for people to find themselves and what it means to them that's congruent with them, you know. So it's sort of a quite a common place in the work I do to walk that edge.
It's beautiful to walk that edge.
Yeah.
Because you're empowering people by letting them evolve their truth.
Yeah, it's tricky to find the words and also do the other thing. It's like enough words or something and form and then not too much sort of thing. Do you know what I mean?
And it's an edge, it's a growing edge to keep finding what's enough, what's not too much.
Yeah.
And you're walking it well.
It's fun to talk about this because who do I talk to this about? To do about this, you know, it's like, it's just what I do. And then it's like, oh, I can talk about that here.
Yes.
You don't think what the hell are you talking about, you know?
And we go, yeah.
Yeah. That's really great. Makes me laugh.
It's the light with Karen.
Thank you.
This edge, yeah, beautiful. And Kaya, we think you were going to share?
Today is a permission to remember all my needs are always met. And I am such a word crafter because my style of doing remote healings for clients is every client receives 2 pages of treatment notes. And when I multiply that times 12 clients a week, I write the equivalent of a book a month. And words are so important because the energy that goes with them, I learned that when I started channeling, every word has a vibrational frequency, and to match the words with that vibration. And so you gave me a word that's a superpower, dazzle. Just dazzle. I mean, that is so it. I mean, there's no like manifesting mental constructs or anything. It's just like this town needs to be dazzled. I'm just gonna dazzle this town. It's just a total superpower. So thank you. I'll have to do a collage that has the word dazzle in the center of it. So I'm eternally grateful. Dazzle, you know, it's not offerings and doing and, you know, inspiring. It's just dazzle.
Just dazzle. Yep. So
Yeah.
let's dazzle Kaya with our love.
Thank you. And I can have the guides dazzle this town too.
Yep. Dazzling Ashley.
Thank you. What a gem.
Would it be appropriate to put glitter in the dazzle collage?
It would.
So who else? What are you learning by Marina?
So it's very interesting because I feel that a lot of times I always considered myself, very outgoing, and a lot of the things that I've received from early on in my childhood is that I'm too much, I'm too loud, I'm too, you know, welcoming everyone, I'm just way too much. And even my friends would say, Marina, if we don't want your hug, we have to be really forceful with you. Otherwise, if we say maybe, you're still gonna squeeze us. So it's just like this too much energy, too muchness. And what I'm learning right now is what I'm feeling is this permission thing about taking up space, about rooting, about going bigger, about expanding and saying, fuck, I've got a place on this earth. I don't need to just like try and fit everybody else's picture of me.
Mm.
That, that's a big one, and I'm really grateful. Yeah.
Let's all empower Marina, taking up space. Go ahead, be big. Yes.
Yeah. Thank you.
Dara, are you still here? We'd love to see you. What's that, Marina?
I just got a piece of cake.
Oh. Celebration of taking up space. Nice. Who else?
I can go. I am learning what I learned about myself is that I am more resourced than I have believed myself to be, and I don't just mean like in financially, um, in all the ways. So infinitely resourced.
Beautiful. So let's sparkle infinitely resourced. Yes, infinitely resourced. Yay. Gail, do you want to share?
Sure. For me, I realized that I needed this mentorship more than I thought I did. Just by being here, it just pushed me out of my comfort zone and to face whatever fear and whatever is holding me back. So I'm grateful for that and the support of the group.
Beautiful. So let's sparkle Mikhail, moving out of the comfort zone into the zone that's really where she's meant to be. Yeah. Rezoned. Beautiful. So, I'm not sure Dara is still with us. So we're at the end of our time anyway. So let's thank and bless all the radiant beings who've assisted us. We bless you, we release you, we ask for the highest, clearest guidance for each of us in our lives in the ways we can most hear it, receive it, and utilize it. Thank you, Evelina, your gift to this work. We bless you. We ask the realms of light to open scalar waves of light for the whole planet, bathing Earth with such flows of liquid light from the heart of Source that all beings awaken to their true divinity and live from peace and harmony. Blessed be. And let's unmerge. I bless you, each of you. I honor you. I release you. Right hand releases everyone from your crown. The left brings you in. Third eye, I release you with love. Really breathe yourself back in. On the throat, I release you with love. Bring yourself home. Heart, I release you with love. Bring yourself back. The solar plexus, I release you with love. Bring yourself back. And the second, I release you with love. Bring yourself in. And the first, letting go of everyone else, bringing yourself home. Just pour your energy into yourself. Reach into your transpersonal light and bring it down all around your arc field. Beautiful. And let's do Ah Om 3 times. Full breath in and out first. Oh, got the breath in. Let's take a breath in. So filling. Oh. Again. Looking up into your being on the Om once more. Thank you all. Bless you.